former Trump national security advisor and former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton. Ambassador, great to have you here. We've heard before that there might be a ceasefire deal involving Israel, and then these ceasefire deals never happen. What do you think? Might this actually happen?
Well, as you say, we have discussed it before because there's a refrain that the Biden White House has to pressure Israel. They're very close. The only thing required is Israeli government approval, and then it doesn't happen. It's possible this one will happen. I think it would be a mistake by the Israeli government. I think what's really at work here is the key point is the first one that you noted in your earlier report, that this ceasefire will last 60 days. What's the significance of that? In 60 days, Joe Biden won't be president anymore. And therefore, he can say, I got through the end of my presidency without Israel striking Iran, without Israel continuing its destruction of Hezbollah, and whatever happens will happen on Donald Trump's watch. Now, maybe Netanyahu, under all the pressure that he and the Israeli government are under, are willing to accept that. But let's be clear what this is. This is a political ceasefire intended mainly for the Biden administration.
Could Netanyahu even convince the right-wing members of his cabinet, like Itamar Ben-Gvir, to sign on? So far, every time a ceasefire deal or a hostage deal has come up, the right-wing members of his cabinet have all said, we're out if you sign this.
Yeah, well, that's good politics on Netanyahu's part. He's not going to say no to the deal. It'll be the bad guys who say no to the deal, and there's still no deal. But let's talk more about what's wrong with the deal, because that's why I think it's a mistake for Israel to sign. The parameters that you laid out are very, very similar to UN Security Council Resolution 1701, with the exception of the last one, a U.S.-led oversight committee. But everything else is the same, in the sense that Hezbollah moves north of the Litani River, the IDF withdraws, and the LAF, the Lebanese armed forces, take control. 1701 didn't work. It was doomed from the start. It was a mistake. I voted for it. I was under instructions to do it, and I followed my instructions as I always did. But it was a flawed plan in 2006, and it's a flawed plan today. If you let Hezbollah up off the mat, which this 60-day ceasefire would do, you're simply going to have to fight a stronger, better equipped Hezbollah when the ceasefire ends.
So what should Israel do, in your opinion?
Destroy Hezbollah and free the people of Lebanon, as destroying Hamas frees the people of Gaza. Neither will be free if Hamas or Hezbollah continue as a political and military force. When we destroyed the Nazi movement in Germany at the end of World War II, we gave the German people a chance for democracy, and they seized it and have done a great job with it. But if we had allowed the Nazis to continue as a political party, how do you think Germany would have looked by about 1955 or 60?
Yeah. And by the way, what about the hostages? Are we ever going to get these hostages out of Gaza?
Well, I think obviously the sad news is that many of them are dead, as Israelis have believed for a long time, and Hamas was just lying about how many it could offer up in a ceasefire deal. It's a great tragedy, there's no doubt about it, but it's the nature of the war that Hamas and Hezbollah have waged. It's totally barbaric, and that's the evidence of it.
Ambassador John Bolton, sobering, but always great to have your analysis. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.